Three, two, one. Go.
Hello and welcome to Mike and Joel's Road to Ultra Running Greatness.
Good job, Joel.
Gonna do a weekly check-in review of how our ultra running training is going.
We didn't have a very good 2020 running season due to the obvious reasons.
Yeah, tell me about it. So what were you looking forward to in 2020 and first of all?
So late December, I started signing up for just a whole year's worth of events. I signed up for the Sun Mountain event, the Bigfoot event, a bunch of other local races, and one by one, after we passed March, they all started getting canceled. And Bigfoot was canceled rather late, I think about 4 weeks before the event started. So it helped to motivate me for the training. But once it was confirmed that it was dropped, then motivation and training just kind of went on a slow downhill journey. That intensity if you don't have a goal. So a lot of those races have been postponed until next year. I have the Eugene Marathon that I'm signed up for. That's another event. Take a note of that now. I forgot about
Eugene Marathon. I am not signed up for that one.
Yep. Hey, you should sign up.
Probably should and probably will.
Right on.
We're still trying to figure out our 2021 race schedule.
Yeah, I have a bunch of races on the calendar. So Sun Mountain was postponed. That's a 50 miler. Bigfoot. I was signed up for Bigfoot 40. Joel, what were you signed up for?
Bigfoot 73 miler, the first of its kind. Well, Bigfoot has been going on for several years. This was the first time that it was 73-mile distance, however. Wow, what a race.
Yeah, almost
dropped
like
out.
It happened.
Love dropping out of ultra marathons.
Yeah, I'm on for Sun River in June. That has the Pacific Crest Sports Festival, to be exact, endurance sports festival. It has 3 days of events, and I like to do all 3 days and then get the beast medal.
Yeah, so let's talk about how many races we think we're going to sign up for in 2021. What our training schedule is going to how's our training schedule going to fit into that?
Yeah, sounds good.
So I think I'm going to do approximately 4 or 5 ultra marathons next year. The first one is in February, as far as I know. Into February is the Lord Hill Trail Races, which is put on by Evergreen Trail Runs. I have never been to Lord Hill before, so I'll probably check that out before I sign up. There's also the Squawk Mountain, which is by the same event organizer. I think I'll do the 50K. And that is in April, I believe. And why don't you, I don't know when Sun Mountain is, but I think it was in May.
Yeah, it's sometime after March, I believe. March, April, May. Yeah, that sounds right. April or May. So I'm signed up for Bigfoot because it got forwarded to this year. I'm signed up for Eugene Marathon. I'm signed up for Sun Mountain because that was forwarded. And I haven't signed up yet for Sun River, but I do want to do the Sun River 50K, which you and I did, Joel, together a couple of years ago, and we had a great time. And I think I would like to do something in Canada, assuming COVID clears up and we can travel the borders again. Because I love
Canada. It is a great place to race. Hey, well, I didn't get to say all of my races that I was going to sign up for.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll also do Sun River. Sun River is in June. Sun Mountain maybe in May, and then Squawk Mountain I found out is in mid-April. So I'm covered through June, and the Bigfoot 73 is probably going to be in early August, I think.
Right.
So I'm good through August, unless I want to do a race in July, which we'll see about that. And then there's usually a few races to choose from in September and October. So I think that's kind of the landscape. We'll see how it goes. COVID could
So, Joel,
change
let
our
me ask you a
schedules
question.
again.
So, with all these events happening next year, what kind of training are you following? What is your strategy?
Yeah. Well, I now have a running coach, and I know you do too. So I guess my strategy for my first big race, Lord Hill 20 miler, is going to be to kind of simulate the trail condition, the trails as best as I can. I might actually go out to this course and do the course before the event and see how that goes. Um, that's the best strategy I can think of. I don't know. Why don't you chime in on your strategies for your first ultra marathon?
Yep. So, in the past, I followed a book by, I believe it's, what is his name? Hal Kerner. Is that the name? I have it up here. Hal Kerner's Field Guide for Ultra Running, and it had some really good plans in there. It worked for me, but I kind of changed up my training strategy a little bit. Last year, I was following the 80-20 plans. 80% of your running is really easy and slow, so you can do more volume without injury, building up aerobic base.
Mm-hmm.
And then 20% was just really hard. And you essentially cut out most of your tempo runs. So when you go out for your 3 to 4 hour or 40-minute runs, you're not running as hard as you can. Most of it's just running easy. So really, it ended up being 2 workouts, which are really intervals, 1 long run, and the rest of it was really just your low zone 2 running. But this year, I have hired a coach, and he's actually a triathlete coach because I do want to do a duathlon in Sun River on the second day after the ultra. So I'm doing more cycling, and I've known that I've needed to do cross training for a long time, and I hate cross training. I never do it. I only want to run every day. But he's bringing more of a systemic approach to my training, so kind of following his plan. And so far,
Mm-hmm.
so good. It's just that I'm doing less running because I love running, but no major injuries yet.
Yeah, and we'll see how less running works out for your training for your first big event. Because I know in the past you've just tried to maximize your running mileage,
Mm.
your running volume. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah, and I've gotten about every injury you could get, from Achilles tendonitis, which put me out for like 4 to 5 months, to shin splints and calf pulls and various stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How have your injuries been, Joel?
Well, so far so good. Uh, Last year and the year before that, I think I suffered from IT band problems because I tend to ramp up my training a little bit too fast, and I sign up for all these 50Ks, and just my legs aren't quite ready for them. They don't quite recover as fast as I'd like. So I'm hoping that this year will go better with the guidance of my running coach.
What are going to be your challenges for your ultras, especially your 73, your Bigfoot 73? You've never gone that distance
Right.
before.
Bigfoot 73. I didn't finish it last year. And the biggest challenge for me is probably going to be getting my training volume up there into the 50 to 60 miles per week is kind of what I'm shooting for. Ideally, I would probably be doing some 70-mile weeks. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, is staying injury free and playing it smart, not signing up for too many 50Ks beforehand.
Yeah, we only
Uh,
have like 4 or 5.
yeah, we need to. If we're gonna do a bunch of ultras before our big A race, we should at least run them a little easier than an all-out race effort, I think would be a good idea.
That's generally my strategy for every race. I always work in the running, and I don't like pain, and I don't like to run at the top of my ability the
Hmm.
entire race. I like to enjoy it a little. So usually for me, it's just a matter of beating the cutoff times and finishing. Those are my two main goals. Don't get disqualified and actually complete it.
Yeah, basically that was my strategy for all the 50Ks and that I signed up for also. Just beat the cutoff times. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be
But
nice to have a respectable time, like being mid-pack for a change.
that's why I was thinking about signing up for some 20-mile-ish races, which we actually did in February
And we've all been,
2020.
been good in 20 milers, I mean, it's like the perfect distance. You don't hit the wall as hard,
So
you can.
maybe we're onto something here. Maybe we should sign up for more 20-mile races, which is, I think the race we signed up for was called the Copper Corridor 33K. It was actually,
That was
yeah,
awesome.
pretty good distance, pretty good. Love the weather down there in Arizona in February. It was awesome. Okay, so got a few more minutes here before we wrap up. But why don't I ask you, since everybody loves to talk about running gear, what is your favorite piece of running gear for this, like for this past year, and like would you recommend it to other people?
Yeah, so I started using the Stride. It's a foot pod that gives you a power rating, and I've used a structured training program from Training Peaks, which has really gotten me some great results. Instead of running on heart rate or pace, using the power levels, which gives you the ability to kind of maintain a certain power threshold through an entire race, and it gives you instant results, especially for things like intervals. The problem with heart rate, if you do, let's say a 30-second interval, and the interval is, run at 95% of your threshold. The problem with heart rate is it's such a lagging indicator. You're done with the workout before it even gets halfway, up. But Stride, it'll tell you if you're in the right, range immediately within the first, 3 or 4 steps. If you're hitting your target or not, and then you can slow down or speed up accordingly. So it's been pretty powerful with my Training Peaks and the programs that I've been using, the 80/20. Um, so I haven't been using it as much with my coach, but I still use it as kind of an informative, source now, especially if heart rate, um, isn't making sense, things like speed workout and stuff, then I kind of know, that, hey, this power level equates to this heart rate. So I'll run at this power level until the heart rate catches up, and so it's,
Hmm.
so I really like to Stride, but I use also a Phoenix 6, and, the heart rate strap, of course.
Of course, you're going to start talking about all of your running gear when I only wanted to know about one. Okay, anyway.
Well, how about you?
Well, before we run out of time, I'll talk about my favorite gear next time. But I probably would recommend, I think my favorite piece of running gear this year was the Salomon 12, what's it called? The Advanced Skin Running Pack. I think that's my favorite for 2020. I have not tried very many ultra running vests, but it's probably up there in terms of comfort, mainly. Very comfortable, tons of storage. Totally going to make use of that at Bigfoot. I think that's the go-to pack for Bigfoot. Okay, so with the final minute left, let's talk about our week ahead.
Mhm.
Are we scared of what what our training is looking like in the next week? Uh,
Well, I think my training plan is very doable. So I'm not scared. It's just that the coach has me doing things that I don't like to do, like
mhm.
stabilization workouts. I just hate, doing things like planks and,
Yeah,
various, core body workouts. I hate doing that, but,
everybody does.
coach says I have to do it. And the other
And
thing
you're,
is
yeah.
cycling. I'm new to cycling. and he has me doing cycling at a certain heart rate, which I find very difficult to get my heart rate up that high while cycling. I just don't have that muscle built up for cycling yet, so it's always a sufferfest. Otherwise, I'm doing the running still. I'm just not running as much as I like to run. He doesn't have me running every day like I used to run. He has alternating running, cycling, and then some days I get a double workout, cycling and running, and and then there's the stabilization. So
Cool. Yeah, I don't like doing stabilization or core workouts either, but I am paying my coach to give me core workouts, by the way. Let's say I don't actually know what my week ahead of training looks like exactly, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna involve a very long run next Sunday, which I'm kind of scared about because I'm very rapidly ramping up towards a marathon in 5 weeks. So let's check in next week with how our training went. Our 15 minutes is up, I think. We're just trying to keep it short because nobody has like an hour, I don't think, to like watch some dudes ramble on YouTube.
we like to watch ourselves. So
But if we're ever, yeah, if we're wondering like how our training went so terribly wrong, we could go rewatch our videos. Okay.
hey,
All right. Until next time, until next Sunday, we're gonna try this on Sunday evening. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
see you next time. Bye.